Hello everyone, what's up? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming. I'm going to be commentating a series for you today between ATN Socke and Liquid's TLO, also known as the Little One. So we've got the Little One versus Socke. This is a Terran versus Protoss, and actually the last series I'm pretty sure was Terran versus Protoss that I cast as well. So two TVPs in a row. I'll try to mix it up next time, get another matchup for you, but this is what we're going to be looking at. I'm a big fan of both these players, both the Little One and Socke. Definitely guys, I enjoy watching and I like commentating their games because, well, they're just solid players. Also, the last series I cast, man, there was an hour-long absurd game. Now, I don't think that there are any hour-long games in this series. Yeah, I don't believe so, but man, that was intense. I'm sure we'll get just as entertaining and intense games here as well, maybe just not of the same length. And so the Little One going to be starting off with the depot here, right next to his refinery. You're going to ask questions. What are your questions going to be? Why is this depot right here? Why is this depot not over here? Why is this depot not over here? Why is he not walling off? Well, I'll tell you what, the depot is right here mainly to cut back on time not mining. Basically what he did is he stayed mining as long as possible and then pulled off and basically just dropped in the closest possible position that would not interfere with continued mining. So if an SCV had pulled over there, it wouldn't have interfered with continued mining. And then, of course, you're going to say, well, it might interfere with the refinery. Well, you drop a depot. Don't be a dummy. So there you go. So yeah, that's unless you're going for a wall off and you want your depot at your front wall. We can see TLO is having a building here at his front wall, but he's not putting the depot there. So unless you're putting the depot at the front wall, this is pretty much what you want to do every time with your first depot. Just stay on mining as long as possible and then just pull, because the longer time your SCV spends running to put down the depot, the less time he's actually doing some mining. So anyways, refinery is up. Looks like we're seeing a pretty standard fare here from the Little One in terms of what he's going for build order in the early stage of the game. Don't expect much different here from Socke either. Just one gas right now. Gateway just finished. We'd like to see that Cybernex core right away. He's actually, oh, never mind. I was gonna say he was a little bit late on that. If he put the gateway, if he put that Cybernex core anywhere right other than right there, he would have been a little late on that timing. But he was quite all right. One Marine moving on down, trying to deny any possible probe scouting in the future. Probe might be trying to push on in, but of course does need to be careful. We have a tech lab coming off in the racks, and there again is that second depot placement, nice and close, cutting back on that reduced mining time. SCV still has not scouted out the what in the F is he doing over here? He moved up to that base but didn't move in. He must have seen a unit or something up there. No, he didn't, because that first Zealot's just on its way. So, wow. I guess he was expecting a fast expand or something. I would be very upset if he doesn't go back there. Maybe he saw a probe. He must have saw a probe. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He might have just been checking for proxies, in all honesty. There you go, running right by the Zealot. Now he's assured of what's going on over there. The Little One going to be going for a fast expo and a Reaper, pulling guys off the gas as well. He does have one guy mining, but pulling pretty much everything else off the gas. I like this opening. Early Reaper scout, what's that going to do? It's going to let you get that scouting. It's going to let you see what's coming from your opponent. He is going for that fast expo, so he doesn't need to be careful. He's probably going to rely on a bunker at some point. In fact, moving on down with this first Reaper and going to get a free kill right here. The Zealot stands no chance as long as he pays attention to micro. There we go. The Little One should have no problem taking out the Zealot. In all honesty, he shouldn't have taken any shots from that whatsoever. It was unfortunately just a little bit of missed micro. Going to drop that probe and dangerously close to losing that Reaper. Wasn't quite paying enough attention. I think, yes, okay, this one Stalker does have a kill. So the SCV was in the main base here. So the Little One was likely paying attention to that SCV micro, which he eventually did lose to the Stalker, of course. But he was, in fact, checking his opponent Socke to see what he had, but that Reaper is still out and on the board. Let's see, there it is. Okay, so the Reaper is still out and on the board, not going to actually choose to move into the base of Socke, wants to stay home with this. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Socke should have no idea of what's going on. He doesn't know about that expo. He did see the Reaper, though, so seeing that Reaper scout is almost somewhat telling. But this Marine is a goner, stands no chance right now. See you later, Marine. Just continues to run. And actually, these two Marauders going to come down, and they're going to be able to take this out very quickly. They don't have concussive shells yet, though, so the Stalker might actually be able to get away, and the Little One's not even going to bother pursuing because he does know that that Stalker will be out of the range by the time that concussive shell finished. Nexus is coming on up right now. We can take a look. We see two gateways right here, as well as that Robo. So Socke going to be moving up into that tech. Wants to get that observer out because he does, of course, want to see what the Little One's going for. The Little One's going to feel very bold in terms of moving out right now early game with these Marauders. The main reason being that those Marauders are going to be able to handle anything the early game that Socke is likely to have. And wow, look at this little one actually going to work here on these back rocks. Very interesting play on his part. I can't really think right now as to what he would precisely be doing. This would obviously open up an avenue for him to move things like tanks over here at some point. Just have that open and available path. Now there are no longer those destructible rocks on the backside, but here we go. Look at this Marauder pressure coming on forward, and this is actually going to be very dangerous right now. The Socke is forced to push down, and he's going to go that full surround there. Now he did manage to drop 2 so far. Is he going to get that sentry as well? No, the sentry is going to move out just in time, but Socke with those force fields and that probe surround did manage to prevent those Marauders from doing much more damage than they could have were they able to basically roam free. Reaper moving around. He did not get a full scout. He didn't actually move into the main base, but he just was doing a little bit of work on those back rocks. Very funny that he actually did that, but didn't even bother completing it. So I'm going to be interested to see if that actually comes into play later in the game. We're seeing a continuous stream of units here from the little one. Little one's just very barracks heavy. 4 barracks right now, not even sitting on a factory yet. He's just going to rely on these early game Marauders, and obviously Marauders very, very effective early game against Protoss units. We just saw how that early push did manage to do a little bit of damage. Let's see if he tries to continue that up. Just the 3 gateways right now. Observer coming on through here as well, and we do have that 1 Immortal into play, and once that Observer finishes, I would expect a 2nd Immortal to come on through, and nice force fields trapping down that Marauder, getting the 2nd Marauder. This is a free kill right here as well. Reaper does get dropped from the high ground, and these Marauders are going to be forced to push back. That 1 Marauder is so very threatening. Look at that, 2 kills right there, and just from that 1 engagement. Marauders absolutely tear through armored units. It's unbelievable. I'm sorry. These Immortals absolutely tear through armored units, such as the Marauder. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. But look at this, a little one going for another expo. That is, in fact, very, very risky. He needs to be careful to not get any 2 base pushes here from Socke. If Socke pushes out with 2 bases, especially since he's got Colossus coming into play, he could be in a lot of trouble. Definitely needs to be careful, and he really needs to make sure that does not get scouted as well. Target firing down that Immortal as quickly as possible. They do, of course, want that to drop. These Marauders, without that stim pack, actually having a hard time getting away from those Zealots. They can't really get out of that range long enough to be able to start attacking, but this big group should be able to help with that. Concussive shells going down and forcing those Zealots to slow down, and then they're going to be able to take them out pretty much no problem. Couple Marauders over here dealing with that Stalker threat, and here we go. Looks like the little one is going to be moving out with a counter push right now. Now again, we do see the little one is coming out with this expo, but keep in mind again, he needs to be very, very careful. If that does in fact get scouted here by Socke, Socke would have no problem with just amassing this large two base force and pushing out with a very, very big army. But actually Socke is very low right now in terms of army in comparison to the little one. Little one's sitting with 32 as opposed to 21. This engagement could be so much more dangerous if you didn't have those force fields down, but keep in mind that the energy is very low in those sentries, so you can't maintain that forever. Actually, the little one is pulling back, going for some reinforcements here before he decides to push on in. There is that expo. Is it going to get scouted here? We do have that Observer just scouting the natural. No, it looks like Socke isn't even aware that that's a possibility right now. Isn't bothering to scout that at all. A continuous influx of units here moving out for the little one into this forward position right outside of the base here of Socke. That's the base. And again, keep in mind, Socke very low on units. He is trying to come out that Colossus, slowly getting closer and closer. The next couple warpins, he should actually end up surpassing the little one in terms of army count. We do have that Observer moving on through, and he was just checking the composition of buildings. He didn't actually move into the main. He didn't see that it was so barracks heavy. He does see the starport coming on through as well, and I'm pretty sure he saw that reactor building over there. And actually, what? That is a very wasted. If he builds that tech lab right there, he can't put anything. He cannot. Okay, there we go. I'm like, what are you doing there, the little one? That is very silly on your half. Observer moving on through, still has not scouted that there. This could put the little one in a very, very strong position. If he can manage to just keep up production, and if he can fend off any big push that might be coming within the next minute or two from Socke, then he's going to have a big, big advantage having this next one up. And there's the push, almost as expected. 2-gate push moving out at 12 minutes right now, just about 100 supply. Let's take a look at the actual army. Well, nope, that's not it. Take a look at the actual army count. It is 53 for Socke, and again, after a couple warp-ins, as we saw, he was able to surpass. Now, there are a lot of Marines and Marauders. That is it enough. We do have 1 medevac, no Vikings coming out, though, so he's going to have a little bit of a hard time. He needs to make sure that he does target fire this Colossus. Luckily for him, there is only 1 in play, and uh-oh, did he spot this expo? No, he did not. So he still has no idea. This expo is just chilling out over here. It's not in threat at all because Socke has no idea that it's here, but Socke is going to be pushing up onto this expo. He needs to be careful. Make sure he gets a nice spread here, and again needs to try to target fire down that Colossus. Can he get close enough? No, force fields forcing him back right now. Wants to make sure that he tries to keep that spread so it doesn't take too much damage from that Colossus. Colossus getting target fired. Is it going to be enough though? No, Colossus pushes back. Those force fields being so troublesome here. for the little one. Little one needs to be very careful. Looks like he is okay for a moment, though. He's going to continue to engage with those SCVs. He's got some use down there. Would like to see him engage with those as well. I think he might have enough Mirage to hold us back, though. It's very hard to tell. SCVs are definitely going to help a bit. There we go. Colossus does get taken down, and it looks like this push has been stopped here. Going to be warping in a few more units, though. He thinks he's okay. All these bio units are very low on health, so he definitely needs to be careful, but I'm pulling back to the medevacs, healing up just a little bit. Going to have no problem kiting around those zealots and actually pushing forward to try to take out the stalkers, because those marauders are going to be able to drop those stalkers so very quickly. See you later, stalkers. This push has been stopped. Socke not in a good position at all. Again, he hasn't scouted out this third from the little one. He has got no idea about this. The little one, actually, that's probably one of the main reasons the little one was able to fend that off, because he had just enough resources to basically be continuously churning out those bio units, and he was just barely able to fend that off. But now that he has fended that off, this counterattack could be a bit too devastating for Socke to actually handle. Moving across the map, going to be spotting that one pylon, so of course going to want to take that out quickly. Moving on to the second one here as well. Now we can see Socke trying to come out this expo, but in all honesty, if we see a strong push from the little one taking advantage of this third base, there we go, finally getting spotted by Socke over here with this observer. If the little one pushes out with a strong push right now, he could just basically overwhelm what Socke has. Now again, Socke has that big advantage of being able to force field this ramp. Take another quick look at that army tab. The little one climbing steadily ahead. And again, this base is almost finished, but not quite yet. The Marine moving on down, scouting it out. And I don't know if he's going to actually bother attacking it, since he won't be able to actually get rid of it. Observer is seeing a little bit of the army here of the little one, not the entire full force there. And actually thinking it's just this small amount. He's moving on down. He's going to be, no, he doesn't catch the other one. So this is not good. There are quite a few units over here as well as the backside. And here we go, going to be converging on the center. He's actually going to get a full surround on Socke. Socke needs to be careful, getting hit from all angles here, trying to force field to help deal with it, but this one Colossus gets taken down so very quickly. Does it? Yes, there it does. Force field's trying to do what they can, but it's not enough. I'm liking that scan there, trying to drop any observer that may be there as well, and then also trying to get vision of the high ground, but this Colossus is going to get sniped down, and the little one getting ready to push on in. He's not even going to bother going into the expo here. He, in fact, is just going to go straight for this third, take it out, and then just basically ensure a victory. There has not been enough damage here to the little one's base. The little one is mining off the three bases. He's got a fourth one coming in here in the bottom right-hand corner as well, and he just took out what was at one point the third here of Socke. And so Socke still just on these two bases. Taking a look at his main, those resources are dwindling quite a bit, getting very, very low. Looks like there is still this one observer here. I guess that scan didn't work in taking that out, but the little one is in a commanding position right now. Even with force fields being able to defend his ramp temporarily, he has pretty much all but lost this game. The little one has this full map control. Socke, again, stuck on these two bases and liking his medevac drop, moving in, just trying to do a little bit of harassment, trying to distract Socke, giving him enough time to push right into the expansion. Force fields were placed down, but it is not a full wall off. He did not have enough sentries down here, not enough energy, and Stimpack going down, going to be dropping down that one Colossus, and there you have it, guys. There is the good game from Socke. As expected, Socke just couldn't do anything. So we saw the little one going for a relatively early third base, and we did see that two-base push as expected from Socke. Socke moved in, and he was ever so close to actually breaking the little one. Had he broke the little one there, he would have won. The little one, with taking advantage of that third base that did not get scouted by Socke, and this is going to go back to how important it is to scout your opponent's base, scout any possible expansions for them. Since he didn't scout this third expo, the little one had just enough resources from it to be able to churn out enough units to just defend himself against that push and then move out for that counter. So there you go, guys. This was the first game in the series between these two players. Going to be moving on to game number 2 in just one moment. Remember, if you like the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And as always, guys, keep watching and keep owning.